You're in the cut with Slidercuts, and let's take you through another haircut tutorial. Today is going to be a mini high top with a skin fade and beard shape up. So when you start off, guys, and their hair's a bit matted, I always just use the free hand and use the open blade by itself to get rid of all of that knottiness. It'll make it easier for you to comb it out, as I'm doing right now. And then after that, I literally take the gauge which you want to use, and then it's easier to cut it down. I am using a number 5 going with the grain, and can you see how much easier it is to cut through right now? Because I took off all of the tight parts and all the knottiness and all of the matted hair, and now it's flowing through very smoothly. I'm using a 1.5 to get rid of all of the bulk on the side, just to bring it flat to make it easier for me to fade. Then I'm using my cordless wall detailer to create a skin line. Now place your skin line where you want the fade to start. Where I'm placing my skin line here is where I want the fade to start, and this is like a mid skin fade that I'm doing. I would advise you not to spend too much time on doing this. It's not needed. Just get a semi-cleanish skin line all around and move on. Now I'm putting my invisible line there to show you where I'm going to stop. So when I come from underneath the line and go up, I'm going to flick out where I showed you my invisible line was. So I come from underneath the skin line, go up, and keep flicking out on that invisible line. It's important to put that invisible line in, especially when you are doing a high top, because if you don't do that, you'll bring the high top too far in and it'll stop being a high top and it'll end up being a Mohican. So make sure you put your invisible line there. Now I've dropped down to the open one. Same place, come from underneath the skin line, go up and flick out. It might not look like it, guys, but I'm flicking out. When I slow down, I show you me flicking out, but I'm always flicking out, and it's important to flick out because you're doing a fade, and if you don't flick out, you're going to create harsh lines. So keep flicking out. I'm combing out and I'm flicking out, and I'm not going above where my invisible line was. The process may seem sometimes like it's tedious, but if you just follow the process, you will see that slowly and gradually it will start fading. So I drop down to my open blade, and with the open blade I'm just flattening it first, literally just flatten it, then flip it around, put your invisible line there to state where you're going to stop and flick out. Then come from underneath the skin line, go up to that invisible line and flick out on that invisible line. This helps you to remember where to not go above. So come from underneath, go through and flick out, and then close the lever a little bit. Same place, invisible line, come from underneath the skin line, go through and flick out. Go through and flick out. You can see the motion, guys. I'm flicking out. That is such an important technique to follow. When you've done this enough, literally, you can close it a little bit more, and look on the skin line, literally, I'm putting my finger there on the skin line, literally just flick out on that skin line. Come from underneath the skin line, touch the skin line and flick out. Where I'm rubbing my finger right now, can you see that the gradation is quite harsh? So I'm using the number 2 to lower that area to create a smoother blend. And now the 1.5 to further bring down that area so we can have a smooth fade. 'Cause that's what we want, guys, smooth fades. We don't want heaviness, blotchiness. We want smooth fades. I'm reducing the front for the shape up with the number 2, 1.5, and then the 1, because I feel this helps to give a stronger shape up. To the shape up, comb it out and press down with your trimmer and pull away from the hairline, going up in a straight line. And it's exactly the same with the front. Comb it out, start from the middle, press down and pull away from the hairline and go across in a straight line to meet the side line. This is how you get good angles. Comb it out and then go over the line that you've already done, and you will see that the shape up starts becoming cleaner. Do this a number of times and the shape up will start becoming bolder, cleaner and more defined. Apologies for the blurry camera, but we're back. So now you can see that the line is cleaner, and that's what is good about combing it out and going over it a number of times. I'm happy with the way the shape up is looking right now, so let's go to the shape of his hair, because it's not good enough just to use the gauges, because the gauges will reduce the hair but it will not give the hair shape. So I'm using a method called freehanding to sculpt the shape I actually want. So this is something that people should learn to do, because this will improve the look of people's haircuts. front view. Can you see how I'm just skimming the edges to create a curve shape? Now I'm going to refine the haircut. I'm going over the areas where I feel need improvement. That could be anything. That could be a heavier area. That could be, you can see that when you were fading, you didn't remove the skin line completely, so you're just touching those areas. This is the part where you get to just go over your haircut and improve all the little things you might have missed out the first time. This process will improve your haircuts dramatically. Spend a few minutes doing this on all your haircuts, and I guarantee you, you will see that your haircuts have gone up a level. Just look around at whatever it is, little lines, little blotches, heavier patches, and that's it. With the beard, it's like shaping up the hair and just remembering that you're shaping hair, not skin. So you're trying to create a curved shape right now from the hair that's there. So you don't need to press down hard. I am just touching the hair and removing the excess hair around the shape which I want. I'm not going to spend too much time on the beard, guys. I'm going to skim through this, but I just thought I'd give you a little advice and tips on it. But this is mainly about the fade. So back onto the fade. I'm still seeing little things that are bothering me, so I'm going over it with the number one. But I will say this as a piece of advice: a haircut will never be complete. There will always be things that could be improved, so you need to learn when to stop, or else you end up doing too much and you end up ruining it. Curl King in the hair. I wet it just with water, nothing else, and I press the Curl King down on the client's head, and I'm just spinning in one direction, clockwise this time. Make sure to stay going in the same direction the whole time. You don't need to press down hard either. Just make sure that the hair is sitting in the holes in the sponge and twist, and the sponge will do the rest for you. Can you see? It's gone from a clean, neat afro to now a curly, twisted afro. And after all of this, make sure, because this is something a lot of barbers miss out on, whenever you curl someone's hair, afterwards you need to comb it out, smoothen it out, and go over the shape up. I often see barbers' hair and I'm like, why? I said hair, barbers' haircuts, and I'm like, why is it looking rough now? And it's literally because they didn't comb it out afterwards, run over it. Smooth it over with the clippers, and then with the trimmers, go over the shape up, and you will see you have now a fully clean, completed haircut. Barbers, make sure when you curl someone's hair, I'm repeating myself, afterwards to go over the fade a little bit and the shape up. And here's my haircut, guys. What do you think of it? Did you understand everything I said? If there's any haircuts you want me to do, then please put in the comments, and I'll do my best to get around to it. Like, subscribe, and share the video with someone if you think it will be helpful for them. And look at myself, back at it again. I can't leave this haircut because I keep seeing things which are wrong with it. Now, these little things I'm doing, they are improving the haircut, but at some point, as I said earlier, you just need to stop and say, leave it before you ruin it. I hope you've enjoyed this haircut. A skin fade with a Curl King twist on top and a beard shape up.